What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back again with another installment of our Beyond Omega Level series, where we cover the origins and powers of the strongest characters in comics. And for whatever reason that I will never fully understand, you guys have been asking me to make a video on Simon Williams, Wonder Man. I mean, he's powerful, but I never really expected someone to be like, hey Rob, you know who would make a great Beyond Omega Level video? Wonder Man. Like, I never really saw that coming. So, Wonder Man was created by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Don Heck, and first appeared in the Avengers #9 in 1964. Now, Simon Williams is the son of a wealthy arms manufacturer and inherits his father's company. However, his company begins to see a downturn in business because of the success of Stark Industries. And so Simon begins embezzling money from his business, but gets caught, convicted, and then thrown in jail. Now, he's bailed out of jail by Amora the Enchantress, and then begins working for Baron Heinrich Zemo, who wants to use Simon's anger at Tony Stark to convince him to undergo a transformation into a supervillain that will battle the Avengers. Now, Simon agrees, and Zemo uses ionic energy to imbue him with superpowers and gives him the nickname Wonder Man. Now, Wonder Man is sent to infiltrate the Avengers with instructions to betray them during a battle with Zemo's Masters of Evil, which included the Enchantress and Scourge the Executioner. But in order to make sure Wonder Man goes along with the plan, Zemo tells him that the ionic energy he was exposed to will kill him if he does not regularly take a drug that only Zemo has access to. Now, when push comes to shove, however, Wonder Man sides with the Avengers against Zemo and is apparently killed in the same issue he debuted in because he doesn't get the antidote from Zemo. But following his apparent death, Hank Pym records his brainwaves just in case he can be brought back to life, and Simon's brother Eric gets mad at the Avengers and becomes a supervillain known as Grim Reaper, who you've probably heard of. Grim Reaper was okay. He was actually more than okay. He was pretty cool, but he was cool for the time. But as it turns out, Wonder Man was not actually dead. He was just in a coma and was kept in a state of suspended animation, during which time Ultron stole Simon's brainwaves that had been recorded by Hank Pym in case he could be revived, and then uses them to create Vision. But Wonder Man would also be revived on a few different occasions, albeit temporarily. First, he was revived by Kang the Conqueror in Avengers #131 to battle the Avengers as part of Kang's Legion of the Unliving, which was a group of dead characters that he pulled from the timeline from a point before their deaths. But eventually, the Legion break free of Kang's control and are sent back to their appropriate time streams. Next, Wonder Man would be revived by his brother the Grim Reaper and a really obscure villain named the Black Talon, and would once again fight the Avengers. And so after going back into suspended animation, Wonder Man is finally revived permanently by the Living Laser, who hypnotizes him into attacking the Avengers yet again. But finally in control of his own thoughts, Wonder Man fights and defeats his brother, and then eventually becomes a full-time member of the Avengers before moving to Hollywood to pursue an acting career where he helps found the West Coast Avengers. Now, as for Wonder Man's powers, they stem from the ionic energy he was exposed to by Baron Zemo, which gave him superhuman physical attributes, including strength, durability, speed, and reflexes. Wonder Man's strength is probably the attribute he's best known for, and in his initial appearance, his strength level is said to be comparable to Thor's. In fact, that was later confirmed by Hercules after Wonder Man punches him through a wall. In fact, Wonder Man was able to knock Thor off his feet with one of his punches, and did the same thing to Hank Pym when he was Giant Man. Now, Wonder Man was also able to defeat some ridiculously strong characters like Carol Danvers, Abomination, Red Hulk, The Thing, and Namor. He also demonstrates an ability to hold up 50,000 tons, and has also thrown a Kree spacecraft and battled the Hulk to a stalemate. So even though he isn't a character that gets a lot of attention, he's absolutely one of the strongest characters in Marvel Comics. And in fact, Captain America stated that Wonder Man's strength was at the same level as that of the Sentry. Now, if you're familiar with the Sentry at all, you know just how big of a statement that is. And if you aren't familiar with the Sentry, we just did a Beyond Omega level video on him, so you can basically go check that out. Now, in addition to his immense strength, Wonder Man also has insane durability. He survived a bomb that blew up after he swallowed it. Yes, you heard that correctly. He swallowed a bomb and then it exploded. He was also punched into the core of a planet by Gladiator, and although it did knock him out, he recovered after a short time. He's also survived the explosion of missiles, punches from Savage Hulk, energy blasts from the Silver Surfer, and a punch from the Sentry. Now, originally, Wonder Man could fly, but only with the assistance of an ionic jetpack provided to him by Zemo. But eventually he learned to better control his ionic abilities and was able to channel them to allow himself to fly. And he's able to fly at extremely fast speeds and is confirmed to be able to travel at 400 miles per hour. Now, Wonder Man is also effectively immortal and is able to come back to life each time he dies, which has been around 6 times since he was introduced, and every time he does so, he is seemingly more powerful than he was prior to his death. Now, although Zemo's experiment on Wonder Man was merely supposed to make him equal to any Avenger in terms of strength, what it actually did was turn him into a being of pure ionic energy. Because of this, not only is he able to fly, he also does not need food, water, or air to survive. Another aspect of Wonder Man's energy powers is that he can manipulate his ionic energy into powerful beams from his hands or eyes, and can also change the physical size and shape of his body. As time goes on, Wonder Man learns to use his powers in new ways, including the ability to lend energy to others and reabsorb it back into himself, and also the ability to teleport. Now, Wonder Man's also a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, having trained with Captain America. However, after a falling out with the Avengers over the Superhuman Registration Act, Simon vowed to stop solving his problems through fighting and only rejoined the Avengers on the condition that he would help them through his public relations skills and not his prowess in battle. Even so, when the Avengers were faced with battling a Celestial, Wonder Man allows Rogue to absorb his powers to battle it, but she ends up absorbing his consciousness as well, and it remains trapped in Rogue's mind for a while, which, I mean, you thought he would have seen that coming, right? Like, never touch Rogue, but he was only freed when Rogue kissed Deadpool and absorbed his healing factor, which allowed Wonder Man's body to be restored. But even after his return, Wonder Man remains committed to pacifism. So despite being one of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe, it's not likely we're going to see him put his powers on display anytime soon, unless the Marvel Cinematic Universe decides to put him in a movie. But that's one of the things that we're trying to do with this series, right? Bring attention to characters that often just don't get the attention that they're due based on how powerful that they are. I never would have known how powerful Wonder Man was. I mean, look, here's the thing, guys. I knew of Wonder Man, but Wonder Man's one of those characters where, like, as far as I was concerned, he exists and he did some things and they don't really talk about him anymore, and now we are here. And like, that's it, right? I mean, it's just, he's a guy who did stuff. Like, I never cared about Wonder Man. Like, he was never really relevant to me, man. But after this, dude, this guy is legit. Dude, I love Wonder Man. Like, this is ridiculous. I need to read more stories about Wonder Man. Thank you guys for telling me to do this video about Simon Williams. I was a little unsure. Why would Wonder Man be beyond Omega level, right? Like, this guy sucks. Like, he's got like sunglasses, and he has really, really good people skills. Right? Beyond Omega level, the ability to hang out with people and start a conversation. Like, it just, that seemed like all it really was. But like, man, this guy is amazing. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.